Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 22 of Cameron's Nostalgia Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strickland, and today I have with me Dan Garza. How are you?
I'm great, Cam. How are you?
I'm doing good. Now, for any of you guys who don't know, um, Dan is a puppeteer who worked on Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, Kidding, uh, Splashing Bubbles, the Happytime Murders, and tons more.
The tons more is pretty fun.
Yes. We should begin our first question.
That sounds great.
How did you get interested in puppetry?
I love puppets and voiceover. I do both of them because I can do and be anything that I want to be. I'm not judged what I look like. I can play a bunch of characters and live a bunch of adventures in all kinds of places and different people and things. And it lets me be just, it lets me be Dan, or it lets me be, an octopus in the ocean, or it lets me be a giant 18-foot gorg, or whatever character it comes up. And it's wonderful to be able to connect that way to other people. So that's why I do it.
Nice. So, what was your first on-camera debut? Debut.
Oh gosh, my first on camera was like probably in 1990 something. It was a commercial. I had a bunch of hair and I was excited, and it was a fun commercial. Yeah, it was for the lotto in Texas.
Yes. And how many puppets do you have?
Oh gosh, well, I make a lot of puppets too, so I don't know. I probably have maybe 12 to 15 puppets, something like that.
Well, okay. So,
How many do you have?
I have tons of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see them there.
Hmm. Let's begin.
That sounds great.
What was it like working on There's No Pain in Paradise?
Oh, I was in my early 20s. My wife and I worked on it. And it was weird. A friend of mine called us up and said, "Hey, do you guys want to be victims from a crash, from a car accident?" And yeah, we were doing all kinds of fun stuff. So we did that, and they filled us, like they put fake blood on us and things like that. It was like a Caro syrup, the sweet syrup. They mixed it with food coloring. They put it on us and messed up our clothes pretty bad, but it was fun. It was like the first movie we had been involved with, and I never actually saw it. We did it, but I never actually saw it. I think we did all right. We had fun.
That was your first film debut.
First, it was probably that one. That one back in 90 something. That was the first film debut, I guess.
Yes. And what about El Memo in The Lost Dutchman's Mind?
Oh yeah, Alamo was fun. I got to play a Spanish character. He was a villain in that, and I got to play a dog. So it was a video game that we had done way back. A friend of mine wanted to do a video game, And so I did that, and I got to bark a bunch and slobber and uh, just be overall excited. It was a lot of fun.
And you worked on an episode of work called Kids Party.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun too. Again, you do things for friends, and it was before I was part of a union too. So yeah, they called me up and said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I said, "Yes, let's have a good time. Let's play." The biggest part about our business is play, so we do a lot of that.
You have worked on the PBS series called Splashing Bubbles.
That's true. Yes, I got to play 11 characters on the show, and Um, it was my first time working with Johnny Tartaglia, who's a fantastic person and a great creator. But he's more than anything just an amazing human being. And yeah, he made this show called Splash and Bubbles, and it was um, it was kind of like Fraggle Rock, but under the ocean, and they were digital puppets, so it looks like a cartoon, but they're all being puppeteered and everything. And and so I got to voice a bunch of characters, but I also got to be my friend Raymond Carr, who's on that show. Um, he played Dunk, who's a puffer fish, and I got to be his body while Ray was doing the mouth and the voice and the face. So you get to play under the ocean and swim and do all kinds of fun things, but you're not wet at all. So that was a lot of fun, and it was beautiful to see our work on PBS, a station that I had always admired since I was a kid. I always wanted to be on PBS, and that was a good thing.
Yes, there was an upcoming workshop in October 12th with Raymond Carr.
Yeah. Yeah, we Ray and I met each other at that workshop, and it's probably 9, 10 years ago now. Um, and we met there, and we became the best of friends. And then we got to work on a bunch of projects together. And he's a beautiful man, and he's gonna have a baby. He's gonna have a baby finally. So I'm very happy for that.
Yes, you got to be the beaver in the Happytime murders.
Yes. Yeah, we I got to be all kinds of weird things, but the beaver is the one that was a lot of fun. Um, on that movie, we were doing all kinds of stuff. So some of us got to just play hands, and some of us got to play feet. Other people got to be the full characters as well. Um, but yeah, in a couple of scenes, I got to be a beaver with a pistol, and that was just a weird thing. It was a strange movie. It was a lot of fun for us, but not a lot of people thought it was as much fun as we did. So, but it was a good movie. It was fun.
And you worked on Space Quest, A Journey Beyond Space.
Yes, that was a promo that we were doing. It was a proof of concept, and my friend called me up and said, "Hey, do you want to do some voices for it?" And I said, "Sure." And I think I played a robot on that, like a computer or something like that, or a captain. It was yeah, but it was just a proof of concept. We did that, and I don't think it ever became anything. There are a lot of projects like that that you work on, and they don't become like a movie or a TV show that anybody. There's so much work that we do that nobody ever sees. So so that's just the business that we're in. That happens a lot.
And you got to work on the short film Fido.
Fido was great. A friend of mine, BJ Geyer, and I were asked to. It was a student project, an AFI thesis, and it turned into a short, and it won a couple of awards, which is cool. but they asked us to build a robot dog named Fido, and we 3D printed all of the pieces, and we had to sand them and put them together and make it look like a living robotic dog. And he had a huge heart to him, and it was so endearing to do. So it was a lot of work. It was so much work, but it was endearing. And the dog, you can find it. I think you can find it on YouTube. But yeah, the dog is his owner is an old woman who lost her husband, and this is her connection to her husband, and it's very touching. It's a very touching story. It was a lot of work.
You got to work on 12 Zodiac.
Oh yeah, the Zodiac, 12 Zodiac. A friend of mine asked me to play a little mouse in that, and he was the cutest little fella, and yeah, a lot of action, a lot of adventure, and and a lot of really talented people got to work on that. So I was very happy to be part of it.
And you got to be the bear in People Like You.
Yeah, yeah, I got to be. That was his name. His name was Bear, but it wasn't an actual bear. It was me as a human on screen, and yeah, it's a little story about judging people and how we shouldn't judge people based on what we think they look like or what they should be. It was it was a cute short that we did, and yeah, his name was Bear.
Yes. You got to play the role of Inui on Kitty.
Ah, ennui. 1 second. I'll be right back. As a matter of fact, here we are. Here is ennui, monsieur. So I got to do this show with Jim Carrey, and this is ennui. Hello, ça va? How are you, monsieur? Good to see
Good.
you. And this is Ennui. He's a French baguette. He's got little cheese feet. See little cheese feet on him there, right there. Um, he's a beautiful puppet. And yeah, when we finished up, they gave him to me, which never happens. But Ennui is a wonderful character, full of heart, and he's quite sad all the time, and he's bored, which is what ennui is sadness basically. And being able to work with Jim Carrey, and I got to sing with Ariana Grande and act with Catherine Keener and Judy Greer, and got to meet Frank Langella, which was cool. Um, but it was a bunch of us puppeteers on this show, and it was a wonderfully fulfilling time for all of us to be a part of something so special. It lasted 2 seasons on Showtime, and it was created by a man named Dave Holstein. And Dave wrote the movie Inside Out 2. So I don't know if you've seen Inside Out 2, but he wrote that movie. And Dave is an amazing person, a fantastic human, and you can see his heart in everything he writes. It's right there, and yeah, I would do another season. I would do anything with Dave in a heartbeat. Is how much I trust him. So, Ennui was a very special character.
Yes. I saw that movie Inside Out 2 in theaters
Yeah.
4 months ago.
Did you like it?
Yes.
That's great.
I got to work on Alan the dog as Max.
Was Max on Alan? Max was a wolf. Um, and he was a very aggressive character who was trying to eat Alan, and he never got to eat him. Oh, but he was really angry all the time and always snarling. He was a fun character to play. Playing bad guys is a lot of fun because I am the opposite of a bad guy in real life. So it's always fun to do something that you're not used to.
Yes. You got to work on Zim Settlements too.
Yeah, that was again a friend of mine approached me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in doing this?" And I got to play. I think it was a zombie on that. Is it? Does it say I was a zombie? I think I was a zombie on that. Um, yeah, that was cool. It tore up my voice. My throat was horrible. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. Lots of tea. Had to drink a lot of tea because my voice was gone.
I know.
Hmm.
And you worked on another short film, Father Mary.
Yes, I got to play a priest on Father Mary. I got to play a couple of priests um, on that one. That was cool. Uh, I did another one later on, and that was during during COVID, and I had a beard like this big, a big beard. It was my COVID beard because I didn't shave because I didn't have to go out. So I grew this big old beard, and yeah, playing priest is fun. When I was a kid, I think I wanted to be a priest for a while. Yeah.
And you got to be the English version of Claudio from Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Um, Claudio is a mechanical parrot, and the movie was, or this TV series is a TV series that's on Disney Plus right now, and you can watch it in Spanish, which is the original language, or we dubbed it, which means we put our voices on top of the characters, and Claudio was a fun character. Right, he was a mechanical parrot, right? And he would help out his friend. Oh yeah, always there, always ready to help, even though he didn't always get all the help back. No, 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 no. So that was a great character to play.
And you got to play the role of Benjamin in The Great Seduction.
Yes, that's a very sweet film from also from Mexico, and I got to do the dubbing on his voice. And he's a very worried character. He's a banker, and he was yeah, he was something else. Becoming was something else.
And you worked on another film in dubbing, which is What If as Francis.
Yes. Oh, Francis was great. That was originally in Tagalog, I think it was, and we translated or we dubbed it in English, and that was cool. He was kind of a heavier guy that had sort of he had to carry a bunch of stuff. He was always walking around, so his voice was a little heavier and a little breathier, and he loved to play video games and things like that. He was an older guy, but he liked to play mobile games on his phone, and it was a sweet film. It's a sweet film. That's on Netflix right now, and so is Great Seduction. Those are both on Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you got to work on the Fraggle Rock reboot.
Yes. Yeah, Fraggle Rock was great. I got called to the first call that I got was to audition for Wembley, and I did it, and it was terrible. I was a horrible Wembley, and I'm so glad they found Jordan Lockhart. Um, and so I thought, oh no, this is never going to work. And then they called me up later and said, "Hey, we know the Wembley thing didn't work out. Um, would you be interested in doing Junior Gorg? And I said, I would love to do Junior. I was very nervous about it, and got to be that big guy. Junior, when I first saw Fraggle Rock, the original Fraggle Rock, did you ever see the original Fraggle?
Yes.
Yeah, and he was kind of spooky, wasn't he?
No.
No, you thought Junior Gorg wasn't spooky?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, he's kind of scary. I thought, and so I wanted to give him a bigger heart, and so we you know we looked and we found, and Junior's such a Junior Gog, he's such a good boy, and he wants to make his mama and his dad proud of him, but he also wants to have friends, and so balancing the two things out is kind of hard when your parents want you to do one thing and your heart tells you to do something else, and so but he found some really great friends in Gobo, Boober, Red.
Moki.
Moki and yeah, Moki and Wembley, and he's found some really great friends there. And then they let me do the trash rat as well. So Marjorie has her two rats, Philo and Gunge, and I get to be Philo. He's good. So right next to him, right there, is his brother. His brother's a Gunge, and that's basically it's Johnny. Johnny who does Gobo. We get to play around together like that. And for as much as I love playing with Johnny, I just love being around him. He's delightful. He is wonderful, and he has been a fantastic friend for years and years. And I hope to keep seeing him make magic, whether I'm with it or not. But I hope he calls me every once in a while.
And you gotta be Kyle in the show.
Oh yeah, I got to be Kyle. Kyle was a Craggle, and the Craggles are really mellow. And Ed Helms kind of set the pace for us in the way that he did his character. And so all of the Fraggles are kind of have higher voices. A lot of them have higher voices, and so I wanted Kyle to be lower. And so, yeah, Kyle's a little low and mellow, and he just kind of let things go. His hat is one of the things that I love the most about him. Our wardrobe people made his hat, and his hat is made out of gloves, which is so cool. He's got one set of gloves here and one set of gloves there, and it looks like a floppy medieval type hat. So it's cute, and he's got great hair. Kyle has. I wish I had Kyle's hair.
You have Philo.
Uh-huh, Philo. Yeah.
Yeah, Philo's one of the trash rats. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Could you show him to me?
Oh, I don't have him here.
No, he's over at the he's over in the cave over by the trash heap. Yeah.
And do you have Kyle?
No, I don't have any of the Fraggle puppets. All of those get taken away from us, so that we can do another season. Hopefully, we get to do another season. That would be nice.
And I have a Junior Gorg plush.
You do? I'd love to see him.
Oh, that look just like him. Oh, that look just like me. Oh, he's beautiful. You must be a giant because he looked tiny in your hands.
That's delightful. Yeah, I've got a little Junior somewhere around here too. You want to see a radish? I have a radish.
Mm-hmm.
this is a radish that they gave me when we were doing the show. So when Junior pulls radishes out of his garden, this is what they look like. It's a fun little radish.
Hmm.
That's a great Junior. I'm so happy you have him. Does he
Okay,
behave or does he get into trouble?
not really.
Not really. Yeah.
You you got to be the assistant director for Saved by Daylight.
Yes. Yeah. I was an assistant director and I was a voice coach for or a character coach for it, an acting coach. There were a lot of young people that were on that project, and they asked me if I would guide them, and so I got to take a look at the video game that the short was based off of, and learn more about their characters. And they all did a fantastic job. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was kind of spooky.
And got to work on Rendon the Puffer.
Oh, that was such a cute thing. I was in the ink and paint department. So we got to clean up all the drawings. When you make an animated film or a short, um, one second of animation is 12 pictures. And so we would go in and clean all of those up. And there were a lot of bubbles and things like that. So we would go in and we would re-ink everything and color things up, color Rindin and all of the other fish that were involved. And that was a really beautiful project. That was done by a guy named Len Simon, who was an apprentice, or he was one of his mentors was Don Bluth, who did Land Before Time, Fievel Goes West, all of the Anastasia, those movies. That was great.
You were a puppeteer in Planet Kubo.
I was. There's a theater here called the Bob Baker Marionette. Um, the Bob Baker Marionette Theater. And before they moved to another location, we got to shoot Kuko there, and that was a really fun experimental music video. So there was a marionette version of Kuko, and then there was a very large animatronic version of him, and then there was a hand puppet of him, and I got to be the hand puppet. That was a lot of fun.
You worked on Fanboy and Chum Chum.
I did. Fanboy and Chum Chum by the creator of that show is a guy named Eric Robles, and he's a great example of what it is to not only know what you're good at, but do it well and treat everyone well in the process. Robles is fantastic, and I just reached out to him a couple of weeks ago. So we'll have lunch. We like to have lunch together, but that's been forever. That's been like 12 years, 14 years, something like that. Yeah.
And you worked on another animated show called The Penguins of Madagascar.
I did. I got to work on that show too. That was a lot of fun. Based on the movie Madagascar, they did a spin-off for the Penguins, and we ended up on Nickelodeon, and it was a CG animated show, and that was very, very cool. It was very cool to do. We got to do a couple of seasons of that, and yeah, that was a wonderful time.
All right. So, you are a puppetry consultant for Blippi's Treehouse.
Yeah, that was fun. Blippy was they were starting their show, and they had two really great puppeteers come in, and they asked me to come in and take a look at stuff to see how they could make things easier or better for the puppeteers involved. So I got to go in and play a little bit in Blippi's treehouse, and I got to meet Blippy, and he was a fun guy, really energetic, very energetic person. But yeah, that was cute. It was a great set, beautifully immersive environment, and it was a lot of fun.
I know we already shown on you
On Wii,
on Wii,
yeah.
and you should bring some puppets to show me.
Oh, you want me to bring some puppets? Let me see what I have. Hang on. Can you hold just for a sec? All right. Let me see what I can bring. Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay. If I had known, I would have prepared. Oh, I didn't know you were going to ask for puppets. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oh, this is one of my first puppets. Do you know who Kevin Clash is?
Elmo.
Elmo, absolutely. So this was a gift from Kevin to me, and let me get him here. Here we are. Oh, hey, how you doing there, pal? My name's Gavin, and I just like to come out every once in a while and make sure the world is still good. Yeah, it's Gavin. So this was a gift from Kevin, and he was one of our practice puppets over at Henson's, and I love that. That's pretty great. Let's see what else we got. This is a character that I made, and his name is Man Cake. Hey, man, what's going on? Hey, I like the mustache. Hey, I'm a kind of an upset pancake, but well, that's what we do. So I got to build him. Let's see, what else do I have in here? Oh yeah, this guy. I had to make him. I made this guy for what was it? The Children's Media Association. My name's Rutherford, and I'm a little lamb, a little sheep, and I'm just happy to be here. Hello, is this thing on? Yeah, that thing's on. Let's see. Maybe a bigger one? Bigger one? Oh yeah, here's this one. So I had a big block of foam, and I didn't know what to do with it, and so well, I wonder if I could do something a little different. So I made Florence. She's an onion. Oh, it's so much fun to be here. Hi. What do you? Are you an onion kind of person, or do they make you cry? Onions make me cry too. Yeah. It's hard to live with myself sometimes. So she's an onion. You see her little onion pieces and her little threads and bibbles and bobbles here. So she's fun. Let's see, maybe I'll show you one more. Oh, this one's cute. Here. I made this one just because I had the thought in my brain. And his name is Brock Lee.
Yeah, my name's Broccoli, and I'm a stalk of broccoli. Make sure you eat all your vegetables and your fruits if you like, except for broccoli. Except for broccoli, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's fun. His head comes off, his hat comes off, and I wear it myself. And he's like this, and I'm like this, and that's how that is. So there's a few puppets I have here that I had handy. The rest of them are kind of in storage, but yeah. Is that what you had in mind?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What other questions do you have?
Um, do you have behind the scenes footage or photos of Fraggle Rock?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you go online, there's plenty of those that I post all the time. I'll put them on Facebook, or I'll put them on Instagram or on Twitter. I don't call it X; it's Twitter. Yeah, I post behind the scenes photos all the time of those things. That's great.
And do you have behind the scenes footage or photos of kidding?
I do, I do, and I post some of those too. Yeah, yeah. There's on most of the shows that we do. There's because making movies and making TV takes such a long time to do. Between shots, we'll take a lot of pictures, or we'll do a lot of drawing or rehearsing or things like that. And yeah, we some because we forget a lot of times how fast time goes by. So having some behind the scenes pictures is always brings us back to, of like, oh hey, I remember that. A good place of remembering.
Well, my previous guests on the show, Patrick
Uh-huh.
and Sean Johnson, are the puppet builders,
Yes, they are. They're great.
and the puppeteers of Kidding.
They were on Kidding with us too. Yes. Yeah, their company Swazzle made most of the puppets on the show. They also made a giant hand that came down, and a giant foot. As a character named Hopscotch, and they made that, and that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. Um, yeah, it was good memories working with those guys.
I did met them in Glendale, California.
Yeah, yeah. That's where their shop is.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Dan, for your time.
Absolutely, Cameron. And I hope you keep interviewing and having fun and meeting people that do cool things, because I think it inspires all of us. So keep up the good work, Cameron.
Yes. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
You know what? Just make stuff. If anybody's watching, who's thinking about making stuff, make things that make life better, and be kind, and be filled with joy and laughter. Um, and there's enough going on in the world right now that people are attacking each other or saying terrible things about each other. um, we have to be better than that. So be better and make the most of what we have around us, because we're only here for a little bit of time, and the best thing we can do is to be the best person we can around others. So maybe that.
Hmm. Well, there's a live show in Las Vegas, which is coming
Oh,
out January 26th, which is
what
called
is it?
Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock Live.
What? That sounds like a lot of fun. I hope to see it.
Yes, well, it's gonna be in 2025.
Yeah, I'll wait. I'm not going to go out there yet because it's pretty hot in Vegas right now.
All right. Well, I need to say goodbye to a gift from Kevin Clash.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, kid. Okay, Gavin. What? Oh, gosh. Oh, that's over. Oh, boy. I was already. Okay. Okay, guys. Hey, I'm back. Hey, Cam. How are you?
Good.
Great. So what's next?
Well, I was gonna be interviewing another person.
Yeah. Yeah. Who are you going to interview?
Well, most of them.
Okay. There's plenty to interview. Yeah.
I mean, one person.
One person. Sometimes you only need one person. Oh, sorry. I hit the microphone. I hit the microphone. Excuse me. I hit the mic. I hit the microphone. Sorry. Yeah, I hit the microphone, and then I cleaned the camera. Yeah, I did. I did that. I did that. Yeah.
Knock knock.
Who's there? Who's there?
Boo.
Boo! Boo hoo!
Don't cry, it's just a joke.
I got a teeny bit scared because you said boo and then boo and I said boo hoo and then I was I was convinced that I was gonna cry. You told me not to. That was good.
It's your turn.
Okay. Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Or banana.
Banana who?
No, knock knock.
Who's there?
The banana.
Banana who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana again? Hey, that was my joke.
Huh. Wait, what's your name again?
Go, Gavin.
Um, I just want to say goodbye to you, Gavin.
Oh, goodbye to you, Cameron. Yeah, and you have a great time doing all your podcast stuff and connecting with people and all that. That's pretty cool.
Yes, I hope I got to see episode 23.
I hope so too. That would be great.
Okay. Bye, Gavin.
See ya.
Well, thanks a lot, Cameron. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you reaching out and wanting to connect.
You are a left-handed puppeteer.
I am.
So does mine.
Oh yeah, that's great. It's always good to meet a lefty.
Okay. Stay tuned for there'll be more guests coming up. Until next time, peace.
Peace.